If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. This is another opportunity to wake people up. If you're wondering, how you could get to people close to you who might be on the fringe about the jabberoo, well, just mention the FDA and how that, this whole thing hasn't been approved yet. Now, we know why it hasn't been approved. That's, of course, for legalities, for legal purposes, so that they can't get sued when someone gets it and something happens immediately to them. In the event that it does, now if something happens down the line, of course, they won't connect the dots and connect it to any type of magic potion. But this is a great story to share because it's actually not about the old jabba-dooby-doo. It's about sunscreen. That's right, because did you know that sunscreen needs to be approved by the FDA? Well, if you didn't, now you do, but most of you did. I did, obviously. Now, sunscreen recall is the name of the game today. That's right, there's been a recall on sunscreen. They're finding what's known as cancer-causing chemicals in sunscreen. Can you believe it? How did it get through the FDA approval? I can't believe it. I can't believe it's not butter either. You might as well use that as sunscreen, enough chemicals in that too, because it's not really butter. Anyway, the burning heat of summer has us all reaching for sunscreens, but before you slather that product on your skin, folks, first check to see if it's part of the voluntary recall by sunscreen brands Neutrogena and Aveeno. Oh boy, the companies recently pulled, get a load of this, several sunscreens from market shelves, and after independent testing had found they were contaminated with the sea-causing chemical called benzene. Benzene. Oh boy, benzene, that doesn't sound safe. Where did I hear benzene before? Wait, wasn't that in Roger Rabbit's, the chemical that they killed the tunes with in Roger Rabbit, the dip?
Remember how I always thought there wasn't a way to kill a tune? Well, Doom found a way. Turpentine, acetone, benzene. He calls it the dip.
Yeah, it was in the dip. Now you might say that's a cartoon. Well, you don't want to use that as any type of predictive program. You don't have to, but let's take a look at what benzene is first. And then let's talk about how this would get by the FDA. How did they miss this? Benzene is a liquid compound, colorless, toxic, and flammable. It has a sweet gasoline-like aroma, so you know it's good for the body, folks. But breathing it can cause serious complications, including leukemia and nerve damage. So let's make sure that there could be benzene in our sunscreen because we lather ourselves up with it in the summer to prevent ourselves from getting skin cancer. But in reality, you should be more fearful of the chemical you'd be putting on your body. For those of you who are saying, well, what could I do as an alternative to sunscreen? You can use coconut oil, although if you're lightly skinned, you may fry. But coconut oil is actually something that naturally has SPF in it. But again, you might fry. Depends if you got that olive oil Italian skin or not, or you got the Irish skin. It's up to you what you put on yourself, but that's just a little friendly advice because you may want to avoid your sunscreens after the recall. Now, you might say, well, should I not use the sunscreen I've got? Well, you could check and see if it's got benzene in it, but kind of like the Smile X, chances are you bought it already.
That luscious tan hair color, so natural. Only your Undertaker knows for sure. Can I get these fine new items? Chances are you bought them already.
Right? Chances are that they didn't even list the benzene on some of the products that have it. Now, why would benzene be used? I don't know. Why is a compound like this that can cause these types of things even in the vocabulary of sunscreen, something you put on your body, let alone how in the world did the FDA miss this? This kind of reminds me of the time I covered, the cereals like Cheerios and all these other, cereal products that were loaded with weed killer. Oh man, FDA must have missed out on that one, but they approved it somehow. Crazy, isn't it? Now, they're saying that this was found because independent studies. So that would mean people who were not in the FDA were doing their job the way they're supposed to, and they were running tests on these things and finding chemicals in it that could cause real serious problems. Now you might wonder why the rates are so high in this country and around the world for cancer and other diseases. Well, look no further than things that are getting approved by the FDA that are not good for you. But again, we're just tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists, and when a story like this comes out, it's just a coincidence, and we all should just make sure we get new sunscreen and throw out our old ones and not wonder how it ever got through our good friends at the FDA, who also are the good people approving the magic potion. They say exposure to benzene increases the risk of developing leukemia and other blood disorders. Interesting. So let's have the chemical on the shelf in general. Why is it on the shelf? Why do we need it around to even consider putting in any of our products? Because we want to kill tunes? I mean, if I wanted to kill tunes, then I would go get the benzene myself, okay? Oh boy, I wonder if the tip works on the LGBT. I'm just kidding, you know what I mean? Oh boy, CVS Health also stopped selling 2 of its after sun care products due to similar findings. But other sunscreens and after sun cosmetics, which also tested positive for the toxin, remain on the market. Crazy, they're still being sold. The vast majority of tested... can you make this stuff up? Am I on the onion? The vast majority of tested sunscreens, however, were free of benzene, and experts stress the importance of sunscreen use to protect skin from the aging and cancerous effects of the sun. Well, I've got a newsflash for you. If you've watched my channel for 5 years, you'll laugh. If you haven't, you'll be confused and creeped out. But hey, don't worry, because sooner or later they're going to come out and tell you you don't need sunscreen as anti-aging. You could just use blood. That's right. Step right up. Get your vial of youthful blood. That's right, because that's what's going to be used next. Yeah. Did you know that my videos about the vampire facial actually had to be independently reviewed by YouTube to make sure that they were safe and okay? Did they have to go through that process on ABC, NBC, and all these mainstream channels when the celebrities are out there promoting it? Right, you just want to make sure that I wasn't saying anything too controversial as far as them pushing this into the mainstream. But that'll be the next thing they use, because they'll say, "Oh my goodness! Well, now that we found benzene and other things in sunscreen, we're going to need to find something else that could prevent it." We won't mention coconut oil or anything natural. What we'll mention is youthful blood, because that's natural, they'll say, and they'll come out and tell you how it can actually have reverse effects on Alzheimer's. Another story I recently covered within the last year on my channel, which, of course, I believe the video is mysteriously gone. Unless I was on the channel that got deleted. I don't know. I can't keep track at this point. Truth is truth, but not here on YouTube. So they say it is not a reason to stop using sun protection, okay? Again, it's not in capital letters here, which is known to prevent skin cancer. To do so would be like hearing a particular car model was recalled, then committing to never drive again, says a certain dermatologist of the American Society of Cosmetic Dermatology. I think the question here shouldn't be, should we stop using sunscreen? I think the question should be who elects these people at the FDA and the CDC to put them in these positions? Our government officials do, who we elect. That's the funniest news I've heard all day. We elect them, and then they pick these people, right? So is anyone going to be held responsible at the FDA? Because, they have ways in this world of making people responsible for things they're not even involved in. Hence the stuff like the Comet Ping with the guy with the bang bang, where they shut down, censored social media because they said people were responsible who were talking about it because he felt ignited by it. Oh, you mean indirectly irresponsible because it was all fake? And besides the point, if somebody hears information, you can't control what they do about hearing information. But how about this? Is anyone going to be held responsible here when there's a direct correlation to the FDA? When the FDA is openly the ones who check this and are responsible for what gets put in? Is anyone going to lose their job? Of course not. And how come the feedback and the pushback from the media isn't, what in the world is the FDA doing? Why shouldn't we question the FDA? No, the question is, are you going to still use sunscreen? You should. Here's some other brands we can promote for you while we give Aveeno a little slap on the wrist because independent journalists or whatever, independent investigators found that these chemicals were popping up, and once people do a test on all of them, they'll find the same thing. That's right, because that's the way it works. Nope. So they've recalled these sunscreens. No big deal. Just some benzene in there, folks. If you were wondering how to make the dip because you have too many an infestation of tunes in your house, well, you heard the ingredients earlier. You can get yourself get yourself some sunscreen, thin it out, get it together. In case, Bugs Bunny shows up or Mickey Mouse, you can just drop them right in the dip because you got it from your sunscreen. The same type of chemical, like I said earlier, that's colorless, toxic, and flammable, yet you want to rub it on your skin because of that lovely gasoline-like aroma. They might as well call it Smilex. Oh, man. Like I said earlier, because chances are you bought it already. I want to remind everyone to check out the website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. Can't make this stuff up, folks, but any of these videos that get removed, they'll be up over there. I have new content going up over there exclusively, as well as the forum. The forum itself is really what it's all about. It's worth it just for the forum. Everyone's sharing links, information about the old magic potion and many other things going on. Obviously, that's pretty much the big concern right now that everyone has. But get over there if you're not over there and check it out. I want to thank the Patrons because you keeps me here on YouTube, so please consider becoming one if you're not. I want to thank all of you for the support. Thumbsing up the videos helps go a long way, and sharing the videos with people, trying to wake them up and snap a little reality in them, helps go a long way too. I thank you guys for being here. God bless you and your families.